All right. Book tag. We've recorded some of these and they haven't been very good. So let's see how this one goes.
Or have they been so good that the human people are not ready for them?
I don't know. This is the Evil Cat book tag.
Evil Cat.
And I think I got this from Bookish Chaz, but I don't remember. But I recorded it somewhere.
You could check that before you start recording, and then you wouldn't have
I'll just put it in the description. You know where to find it. All right. So the first one is knocking shit off high places, which we know cats like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's book with a cliffhanger. And I'm going to go with Dance with Dragons. Because Jon Snow's still dead.
That's not a cliffhanger.
Also, it's a cliffhanger. He left us on the cliff for 53 years.
Right, that's a cliff that ain't ever going to be finished. That's just a crap
it's
ending.
A straight line.
Just accept that's a crap ending. My cliffhanger is going to be The Wastelands, Dark Tower Part 3 by Stephen King. He literally straight up ends in the middle of a scene, and he's like, I'll finish this 6 years later. Thanks, jerk.
That's where George R. R. Martin got the idea. Except his 6 years is 302.
He's not bothering to give it up. He's not writing that book. It is over.
No!
Yes.
I will never give up. All right, the next thing is Howling at 3 a.m. A book that you didn't sleep to finish. This is hard because, this is just what I do. I read a lot of thrillers, I read a lot of horror, and if I'm into it and, it's late, I will just stay up and finish the book. So, any good thriller, mystery, horror is this answer for me. So I don't know. The last book I didn't sleep to finish, I don't really know. I think the only one left, or Daisy Darker.
This happens to me sometimes. The one I think I remember best staying up till like 5 in the morning, I think I had to get up for work at 6 in the morning, so it was not a very good decision, was I read I Am Legend. And I was only a third of the way through it, and I was like, I'll just read a little bit of it, and I just read the whole damn thing, and I was like, oops. Late.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time, when I was young, too. When you were in high school?
No.
Oh.
This was, I don't remember when it was.
Oh, you had to get up for work.
You were next to me.
Oh, that's right.
You were sleeping.
But at some point, I in high school, I would stay up until 4 in the morning and then be like, and now I got to go on my 1 hour of sleep. But, then I got old and now I can't do that. All right. So the next thing is Hiding Before a Vet Visit. A book with a self-destructive character. Oh, that's hard. If you think of one first. Okay.
I got one.
Sir Chunk's going to go first.
This will be debatable, but I'm going to go with Holden from Catcher in the Rye. Although he's not completely self-destructive, he certainly has some self-destructive traits, and that's definitely a big part of the book. Yeah.
Well, that's a bunch of nonsense. Holden's not self-destructive.
I mean, he doesn't sleep at all. He wanders around the rain, and he drinks for 3 straight days.
Okay, yeah.
That's self-destructive.
I guess. Or is it awesome?
Yes. Also awesome.
Awesomely self-destructive.
Yes.
You know what I was going to say is any book I relate to. So I guess let's just go with that as the answer. Because I was going to say, I love self-destructive characters, but most of them are just like me. They're just women who are I'm going to just do the dumbest possible thing, and then I'm going to be sad about how it turned out. I mean, usually they end in murder in the books, because, I don't want to read about, sad women.
Yeah, you do.
Sad teenage girls, because then there's still hope that it gets better. Sad women, it's just, nope, life just sucks. Mm-hmm. I don't know, that's my self-destructive character. Me. I am a self-destructive character. All right, the next one is Poop Hanging from the Butt. And it's a sequel that was crappy. I'm going to go with Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, because it's, even though, I love all the Harry Potter, the second book is literally just the same as the first book. Or Catching Fire. And you're looking at me, because those are probably the ones you were going to go with. Because Catching Fire is literally the Hunger Games twice.
I was definitely picking Chamber of Secrets, and I was going to pick that, because I always talk about how much I hate that book.
I don't hate it. I just think it was definitely a down.
What I'm going to do, I'll go with Ender's Shadow.
There was a sequel to that?
Ender's Game is first.
I know, there's a sequel to Ender's Game?
Shadow is the sequel. There's 4 sequels to it.
Oh.
But
Well,
Under the
I read
Shadow
none of
is
them.
kind of like an annoying redux that doesn't have any like the cool ending. Like the first one, I really like the ending a lot. It's great. It's a bit surprising and it's cool. And then they sort of you can't really repeat it.
Yeah.
And he tries to repeat it. It don't work for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you asked us about like movie sequels, we could just go on for days.
But that's not what this is about, is it?
Well, I'm saying like book sequels usually, they don't get off the ground. They're garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, again, Harry Potter 2 is still better than 9 million books.
Catching Fire was kind of fun.
Right, Catching Fire is still better than a lot of books. It's just kind of like a rehash of one, but, like...
Most sequels are.
But Hunger Games is still better than so many things that I would, like... Mm-hmm. So, again, it's harder to write, like, a bad sequel in the book world. Or I just don't bother to read them because I didn't like the first one enough. Right. All right, Puking on the Carpet. So this is a book with a betrayal. Who betrays somebody? Everybody. Like, that's what I read. I read, like, mysteries where everybody's betraying each other. I'm trying to think of a good betrayal, though.
I'm going to go with a classic for a betrayal here. It's Frankenstein, where Victor really betrays his creation by basically running away because he's not that... He's like, oh my God, you're ugly. Ah! And, like, runs away for, like, months. And the creature's just like, oh, I guess I'll figure out how fire works. Bye. So, not a very good situation there.
Yeah, for some reason I have this, like, feeling like, oh, I should include, but I know. Anything from A Song of Ice and Fire. It's, like, constantly betrayal. Yeah, anytime Littlefinger shows up, there's a betrayal that either is currently in the process of happening or has now just happened. Mm-hmm. That's literally his thing. But I don't really want to give it away, because, like, if you didn't watch the show and haven't read the books, I haven't really done anything with Littlefinger yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a big old betrayer.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's awesome in the fact that he likes to cause chaos, but he's the worst.
Awesome. Chaos is the ladder.
All right, Dragging in Live Animals, a book with shocking violence. I mean, I guess I could say Clockwork Orange. That's pretty shocking, but... I don't know, that was, like, shocking.
I got one.
I mean, it's meant to be. Yeah, you have one.
All right, I got a few. The Troop is pretty terrible for animal mutilation and body horror. That's beyond disgusting. I don't recommend anybody read it. But one that I would recommend you read that is also gross is American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. Quite a bit of violence and disgusting violence, but works more in the context of the story as opposed to The Troop is literally just going for the gross out.
Yeah, like, I don't read, and, like, again, I'm not, it's the same thing with, like, books. I don't read a lot of, like, spicy, and I don't read a lot of violence, and I'm not, like, I sound like I'm, like, one of those people who's like, oh, my books must be clean and PG. No, like, I don't care at all. I just don't really like gore, and I don't like, I don't like detailed violence, and I don't like detailed sex, because they just distract me from the plot. So, like, when I think shocking violence, I'm usually, like, something that comes out of nowhere. Like, a character I don't expect to be kind of violent. And so I had one, and I forget what it was. Oh, I was a little bit, like, Less Than Zero. Because, like, it's not as shocking. I mean, what they do is definitely messed up. But I guess technically it's not as gory or anything. But it comes out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, well, these people are evil. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a book version of American History X, where it's just like, it just escalates really quickly.
Like Anchorman.
Yeah. Looking You in the Eye Before Misbehaving. So, a character desperate for attention. Veruca Salt?
Why are you asking me?
She's desperate for attention, right?
Yeah, probably.
Which isn't she the one who's like, pay attention to me?
Is she the rich one?
Yeah, she's the rich one, right?
Or what's the other one's name?
Violet Beauregard.
Oh, right.
She's the blueberry.
Yeah, I always forget her name.
Yeah, so I would say Veruca Salt.
Right. I guess sticking with children's books, I'm gonna go with that Super Fudge jerk from Tales of Fourth Grade Nothing. Man, do I hate that character. Not the first time I brought him up, because I hate him so much. The attention-seeking jackass. I hope he gets hit by a bus. Down with Super Fudge.
For the record, Sir Chunk was the youngest. but he was in like the one family where the youngest doesn't just get spoiled rotten. So he's very angry at Super Fudge for taking all the things he was supposed to get as the youngest child.
Also, I like Fudge, but I hate that kid. It's very difficult to manage the two things.
All right, the next one is shredding things. So this is a destructive character, not self-destructive. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go out on a big limb here, Destruction from the Sandman series.
Huh. Well, there's a lot of destructive. This is one of those situations where there's a lot of choices, and so my brain can't focus on any single one. I'm gonna go with, although he's destructive in an interesting kind of way, I'm gonna go with Beatty from Fahrenheit, because he sort of like orchestrates destruction in sort of very interesting ways. So that's what I'm gonna go with, Beatty.
Iago's destructive.
Iago's awesome.
Iago's a villain, though.
He might be my favorite Shakespeare character ever.
Has never been fed. Never.
Oh, no.
You know, that's what our cat will tell you. He's never, ever gotten food. The series you can't get enough of. Well, I'm going to say A Song of Ice and Fire. If only, instead of waiting 43 years between books, we got, I don't know, the books, and then we could get this History of the Iron Islands he also wants to write. Yes, I'd love that. After you finish the books. So that should motivate you. Finish the books, and then you can write all the histories you want. I want a history of Ashai. Don't start that. Finish the series.
Writing it. Just read Fire and Blood and read The Hedge Knight and all the stuff that he's like distracting himself with because he knows he can't finish his story because he has too many characters and plot lines. He doesn't know what he's doing anymore. He's not able to finish it. Give up.
Throw a nuclear bomb in and then finish the story.
He's not finishing the story. He's completely lost. You can tell. It's over.
What series you can't get enough of?
I don't know. I don't get that into series. Can I count the Rose Estes Dungeons and Dragons Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Sure,
They're not like
Harry Potter. It's done.
They're not exactly a series because they don't really repeat characters, but the style is very similar. So that's what I'm gonna go with. The Rose Estes
also apparently
D&D.
Benicula.
I just started that though, so I don't know.
You're on book 3.
Yeah. So. Anyway, yeah, that's what I got. Next question, please.
Yeah, hold on. I'm adding a thing.
I'm not a thing.
Okay, so cute you forgive them anyway.
Thanks.
So, a likable, wicked main character. So this is also a hard one for me because I love wicked characters. So Amy from Gone Girl, all of the Lannisters, who aren't really evil, they're justified. No, not that Amy isn't, but I like, what else do I like? I always like the monster. I like the monster in Frankenstein. He's not really wicked, though. I like the main character in Prince of Thorns, who's just, like, kind of violent and evil. Although I find him enjoyable. Yeah, I like the villains. Unless they're Draco Malfoy, because he's not interesting, and Voldemort is definitely not interesting. But Snape is my favorite character in that series.
Well, the obvious pick for me would be the person we mentioned a moment ago, would be Iago, who I absolutely love. But I'm about to blow your damn mind. The evil character that people like, Hamlet. Let's just review.
Oh, shut up.
Let's just review. He tortures and emotionally abuses his girlfriend till she kills herself.
He is kind of
He kills Laertes' dad for no damn reason at all. And then he basically is a jerk to everybody all the time. Yeah, he's got a reason with it, but I mean, I get wanting to kill Claudius. I'm fine with that. But like, people are like, oh, Laertes, what a jerk. Why? He screwed over Laertes' sister and his dad for no reason. Laertes is the hero. Hamlet's the villain, but likable. Mind blown.
Maybe he's not likable. Maybe he's a horrible man, and he's another narcissistic, jerky guy.
The point is, a lot of people like Hamlet.
Right, but now we're all
me.
learning that
Including me.
Hamlet was a scumbag all along.
I've been saying that forever, that he's the villain.
Hamlet's not the villain, but
Hamlet's the villain.
Hamlet's kind of
Laertes is the hero.
jerk. No.
He's just not in it that much.
He's just traumatized, and we're supposed to feel bad for him. That was the thing.
I mean, he basically got his whole family destroyed by Hamlet for no damn reason.
I mean, Hamlet, but you're right. Like, the Laertes and Polonius, I mean, Ophelia and Polonius stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah, Polonius is like
He just,
a little bit
destroys
annoying.
This entire
I
family.
told you. He murders Polonius because he's kind of a little bit annoying.
I mean,
and then he just chucks his body in the attic and doesn't give a crap.
He does think it's Claudius. I mean...
Yeah, but still, he doesn't care when he kills him. He's like, whatever. That guy was a jerk anyway.
No, he's like, well, that's what you get for being nosy.
Yeah, and then he doesn't really care. And he makes jokes about his corpse later.
Well, that's because he's crazy.
No, he's not crazy.
He does feel bad.
He knows a hawk from a handsaw.
He does feel bad when he fights with Laertes because he realizes why Laertes is upset.
Yes, but the point is he knows a hawk from a handsaw. He's not crazy. It's just his move.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hamlet's a jerk. Like, again, I like Hamlet. I like his evil, snarky ways. But he's a villain. He's awful. He's a terrible person.
I don't think he's a villain, but he
takes
a bad, manipulative, narcissistic boyfriend.
Yeah,
and I think we can all join up and say, this is really Ophelia's story, and we all need to know about her story.
Ophelia's got like 22 lines.
Yeah, Ophelia is a very interesting character, and she doesn't get any, like... Actually, Gertrude's kind of interesting, too.
The play is full of great characters. All I'm saying, this is not a discussion of Hamlet, the play. Discussion of how Hamlet's a damn villain.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
I think
because he's the protagonist. So your small frame little brain can't work around the protagonist being the villain.
I just think some of the stuff he does is good.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what? I mean, yeah, he's going for revenge. He has reasonable reason to seek revenge about Claudius.
He has a lot of really
What does he do that's good? What is a good character trait? What's something positive he does? He's a jerk to literally everyone, including Horatio, who's like his best friend.
Well, I can understand his sadness.
Yes, that's
This is the problem I have with Hamlet. Like, here you go, all. We're going to hear about my Hamlet.
People tune down.
The problem with Hamlet, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Hamlet. But because it was such an intense, like, acting role and it required so much performance, Shakespeare wrote it, like, described him as 30-something because the only actor he thought could carry off the part, right, was in his 30s.
I think he had 27. When he was 27?
Right, or, yeah, it was, like, late 27 or early 30s.
He meant to be, like, 21 or whatever.
Right, but, like, he's always portrayed as, like, his late 30s or 40s. He's in his, like, first or second year of college, people. He's, like, at best, like, 20. Like, he's probably 17, 18, 19.
No, he's probably 20.
Well, no, it's his first year at school, isn't it?
Yeah, but he dicked around before he went to school.
I don't think he did.
Didn't he? I forget.
No. Anyway. And Ophelia's, like, 13 or 14. So, like, I hope he's not more than, like, 19, because, like, that's just creepy, too.
Anyway, we're getting distracted.
Well, Laertes is only a little younger than him, and Laertes is at his first year at school.
No, he's not going to school. He's just going to sow his oats in Paris.
Well, yeah, he's taking his gap year. But I thought he goes to school there.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. I'll do this later, but I will find him the...
No, he goes to Paris to, like, party and stuff.
He's going to school.
No. I mean, there might be a school there, but he ain't going to school.
He's going to school. Where does Laertes go to school? Look, there's a question. I can pull it up. Laertes he's in Paris at school.
Mm-hmm. But he's going to party.
School. Yeah, because he's in college.
Yeah, I know. So the school part doesn't matter.
The point is they're in college.
Yeah.
So they're in their, like, late teens, early 20s at best. Most people graduate at, like, 21. So
why are we still on this?
Oh, I was just saying how, like, they wrote it for, like, a 30-something-year-old guy.
Yeah, I know.
And we keep getting, like, Kenneth Branagh and Laurence Olivier. And
that's just because they're, like, egomaniacs and they have to play the lead.
Right, but also they're like, and then they always have some old guy playing it. And it really should be played by some, like, whiny teenager. Because, as Kevin Smith said about Anakin, like... Who would the galaxy's first villain be? Some whiny teenager. Mm-hmm. And that's who Hamlet is. He's a whiny teenager. Like, and so it's hard because, like, when you're talking about him, like, doing things that are immoral and wrong, like, yeah, it's wrong if you're an adult, but he's not.
We're going to have to edit this because this isn't meant to be a reflection on the play Hamlet.
It will be evil cats and a reflection on the play Hamlet.
Fine. Just put a tab in there so people can skip past our nonsense if they don't want to hear it.
Well, that was the last question on the cats.
Oh, well, then they should have left already.
Well, now you know more about Hamlet.
I don't think there's any cats in Hamlet. There is Sir Pounce from Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, though.
Yeah. Anyway, he goes to college in Paris.
Your mom goes to college.
Bye.